Hey, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We got a few people still on. I know it's a little later in the morning, but I wanted to still come on and just say hi. Hello, good morning. Good morning, Belinda. Hello, Shar87. Hey, Courtney, good morning to you. Sister Sheila, Brother Kenneth, good morning. Hey, Trees. Good morning, Sister Rhonda. Congratulations again on the wedding. Good morning. Brother Garnett, I'm still checking my clock. Good morning. Deacon Jones, hey. Good morning. Listen, it is the week of the Hampton University Ministers Conference. Good morning. And so I want to apologize first just for coming on late. I'm going to try to stay on schedule for the rest of the week. But we've already kind of kicked off the conference with meetings all morning. And so really, I like to kind of give you an abbreviated scope today. As we kind of go into this week, one of the things we've been talking about is maximizing potential. And today I want to kind of deviate from just our 12 balance points. I had an experience last night that I brought some lessons from, and I wanted to kind of share. On last night, we had a really late meeting. I think the meeting started at 9. I was at my home. Hey, Lolitha. I was at home around 9. I was just getting home at 9, still having to drive probably about an hour to get to the meeting. And we had a storm. It was a horrible storm, actually. Now, strangely enough, it was not raining at 9 o'clock, not where I was. It didn't start until about 9:15, 9:20, which happened to also be the same time that I was pulling out. I mean, the wind was blowing, torrential downpour. Not only was the rain falling at a slant, but people almost looked like they were walking at a slant. It was that bad. But I packed the family in the car, and we got on the road. The water was so high in regular places that, as you drive by, the water would squirt up left and right. We didn't quite hydroplane, but there were moments where, even my SUV kind of skipped and jumped because the rain had fallen so hard, so fast, lightning, thunder, horrible storm. Some would even probably deem it too dangerous to travel in. Here's the key. One, I'm here telling you about the storm, which means I made it through, right? And I think there are a couple of lessons that I just wanted to kind of share as I was, kind of reflecting on last night and really getting ready for the day. The first is that I was confident in traveling no matter how bad the weather or how bad the storm, because I was familiar with the route. I was going to a familiar place. I had been there before. I was traveling down the interstate I had been on. I was going to have to cross a bridge that I had already crossed. I was going through a tunnel that I'd already been through. And as a result of this familiarity, or at least knowing the terrain, no matter how bad or even, late at night, how dark it was, I was able to rest and be secure in the familiarity of where I was going. So yeah, it may have been dangerous. Yes, the water was hard. Yes, the wind was blowing. And I couldn't even really see that far down the road, but I knew where I was. And I think for any of us, when we're maximizing potential, particularly in problems or in challenges, or, when you have storms in life, kind of going back to, last week's series with the All Aboard, one key is to focus more on what is familiar on less and less on what is deficient. We always focus on what we don't have and what we can't do and who's not present and who didn't help. But there's some value in just knowing what you do have. What is it that you do know? And I think in life, on your job, with your families and your finances, there will always be a holdup or a pause or a hesitation in life if you have to wait for more. Life isn't always about more. Matter of fact, more isn't always better. Sometimes what you will learn is using what you have and maximizing what you have will help you get through a lot of where you are. So be familiar. Use the familiar. Take what you have. Look at what it does. Look at what still exists. Look at what's left over and use that to go forward. Moses does that. You remember Moses was asked by God to go on this great assignment to let the children of Israel go. He's afraid, first of all, but he comes up with excuses. I mean, tissue paper roll. He could have just let it go and written down excuses for days of why he couldn't do it. But there was one thing God said that trumped all of his excuses. Moses, what's in your hand? In other words, I'm not concerned about what you don't have. I'm not concerned about who's not here. I'm not concerned about what your deficiencies are. What are you already familiar with? And I'm asking you the same thing. When life gets hard or when you meet some challenge or obstacle, what is it that you do have? How much money do you already have? Who do you already know? What do you already possess? What skill set are you already familiar with? So that's the first thing. I was able to make it through that storm because the route was familiar and I used what I had. I couldn't see far, but I knew the tree line. I knew where the turns and the curves were. So I was able to make it. And the second thing I think really important for me that night, and I think valuable for all of us in maximizing our potential, is I had a purpose. I mean, it was a long day. It was Sunday for me. We had a couple of services, had ministered at a wedding, had traveled already 2 hours away for that event. It was already 9 p.m. I packed up the family. The kids are both laughing and screaming. It is a very chaotic scenario, but where I was going had meaning. And it became the motivation for me to keep pressing. I didn't drive as fast as I would have if it were not raining. I would have been, slightly over 70. Don't tell anyone. But with the rain, I slowed down, but I was still persistent. And persistence came because I had a reason to go. I had a motivation. I had a purpose. And I think, when you reevaluate some hard situations, sometimes just reestablishing and reprioritizing, bringing perspective to purpose will help you push forward. What is your purpose? Why do you go to work? Why do you care for your family? Why are you trying to make that money? It's not always about the tangible. Sometimes there's something greater. And where I was going, the event I was attending, the people that I was going to be around, they were so much more meaningful to me than me staying at home because of a storm. And I think you too have to think about that. Working isn't about money. Maybe it's about leaving legacy for children. Being healthy is not just about looking good. It's about being around longer to be more effective and do more work, do more ministry, serve more people. Getting education isn't about degrees. It's about being equipped to be able to accomplish greater tasks. And again, I'm just tossing these out. Maybe you have different purpose. I don't know what it is, but what I do know is that last night I was able to make it to my destination simply because I had a purpose that helped motivate me. So I got there. I didn't get there as quick as I thought. Didn't get there as quick as I usually would have without the storm. But I did arrive. And as a result, here I am the next morning able to give and share this story. Which brings me to the last part. I think one of the reasons that you ought to persist through your storms and really go forward beyond challenges and trial, get over whatever complications may happen, is because there's someone else that may benefit from the story that you have after you've come through and made it to the other side. There's always someone looking to learn, looking to get through. There's always someone ready to give up until they hear what you've been able to accomplish or what you've been able to overcome. So today, I really want to just encourage you, one, to move forward. Storms will come. You know, my father taught me a while back when I was young. He said, listen, no matter what the storm looks like, the storm will always pass. He says storms are not clouds that sit over top of you. Storms are systems that are always in movement. They're always en route. And I kept that in mind. Last night as I drove through that storm, I realized that eventually I would outrun the storm or the storm would stop. And sure enough, it did. Listen, that's going to happen for you. Whatever challenge, whatever crisis, whatever controversy, whatever difficulty, whatever rain, whatever slippy ground, whatever challenge you have, eventually this too will pass. Don't wait for it. Be the person with maximum potential and go through it. Hope you guys have a great day. I hope to see you again this morning. Listen, it is the Hampton University Ministers Conference. We'll be in sessions all week. And so what I'll do periodically is just, kind of scope and let you know what's going on as we believe the 5,000 plus ministers that are synergized here at Hampton University are coming together to help change the world. Be blessed. Have a great day.